Hello guys, how are you all? Welcome to my channel Cracking IELTS 9.0. So today I am back with a new passage guys. So as you can see, the passage reads urban farming. Now this is Cambridge 18, test 1 and reading passage 1 as you can see. So on the left hand side you have the passage, right? And on the right hand side you have the questions. So I have just split the screen just to make it easy for you guys, okay? So the questions 1 to 13, they are from for the reading passage 1. Okay. So, yep. Uh, let's not waste any time. I just want to tell you guys that please watch the video till the end because I will be giving away a lot of tips and tricks which are really helpful for you guys to crack this IELTS test. Okay. So please follow each and every question. So different types of questions, they have different strategies. Okay. I will be giving away a lot of strategies, tips and tricks. So please watch the whole video and also please refer this video to your friends who are trying to crack the IELTS reading module. Okay. So let's not waste any time and dive into the passage. So as you can see on your right hand side, it says no more than 2 words, right? It says no more than 2 words and or a number. So you can write 2 words and also with a number, okay? Or you can write just 2 words, or you can write just one number, okay? That is also fine. So this is 1, 2, 3 questions. He gave fill in the blanks type, okay? So, yep. Now the heading is about urban farming, right? So this is our urban farming title. So, yes, let's not waste any time and let's read the first question, guys, okay? The vertical tubes are used to grow strawberries, dash, and herbs. Okay. Now here he's talking about some vertical tubes, strawberries, and herbs. Okay. So these three are our keywords. So with the help of these three words, we are going to search in the passage. Okay. And we'll come to a answer. So let's read from the beginning. In Paris, urban farmers are trying a soil-free approach to agriculture that uses less space and fewer resources. Could it help cities face the threats to our food supplies? Okay. Now this is the question. Okay. So all the passage is the answer for this question. Okay. Now, yeah, let's continue. On top of a striking new exhibition hall in southern Paris, the world's largest urban rooftop farm has started to bear fruit. Okay. Strawberries that are small, intensely flavored, and resplendently red sprout abundantly from large plastic tubes. Okay, now peer inside and you see the tubes are completely hollow. Okay, the roots of dozens of strawberry plants dangling down inside them. From identical vertical tubes nearby burst rows upon rows of lettuces. Near those are aromatic herbs such as basil, sage, and peppermint. Opposite, in narrow horizontal trays packed not with soil but with coconut fiber, grow cherries, tomatoes, shiny aubergines, and brightly colored chards. Okay. So our keywords, I think we got our keywords right. Vertical tube, strawberries, and herbs. Where are they? It is here, right? So first, this is the first keyword, vertical tubes. And then herbs are here. Okay. Strawberry is also here. So what is in between? Now let's read this again. Peer inside and you will see the tubes completely hollow. The roots of dozens of strawberry plants dangling down inside them from identical vertical tubes nearby burst row upon row of lettuces. Okay. So this is a point to remember. Lettuces. Near those are aromatic herbs such as these. Okay. So strawberries, lettuces, and herbs. So lettuces is missing here, right? So that should be the answer, guys. I hope it is easy for you to understand, right? So Let me write let uses here. Okay. Yes. Right. So, yep. Let me make it visible for you guys. Okay. So, yeah, I hope it is visible. Let uses, right? Now, the next one. There will be eventually be a daily harvest of as much as a dash in weight of fruits and vegetables. Okay. Now, what are the keywords here, guys? So we always have to follow the keywords. Okay. That is our first technique. Okay. What is a keyword here? Daily harvest of as much as in weight. He's talking about the weight of something. That is the keyword, and fruits and vegetables are the keyword. Okay. So let's read the next paragraph now. Okay. Now, Pascal Hardy, an engineer and sustainable development consultant, began experimenting with vertical farming and aeroponic growing towers. Okay, as the soil-free plastic tubes are known on his Paris apartment block roof 5 years ago. Okay, the urban rooftop space above the exhibition hall is somewhat bigger, 14,000 square meters, and almost exactly the size of a couple of football pitches. Okay. Already the team of young urban farmers who tended have picked in one day 3,000 lettuces and 150 plants of strawberries. Okay. Next. When the remaining two-thirds of the vast open area are in production, 20 staff will harvest up to 1,000 kilos of perhaps 35 different varieties of fruits and vegetables every day. Okay, yes. I think we got the answer here, right? See, fruits and vegetables every day means daily. Every day means daily, right? Daily harvest of fruits and vegetables. Okay, as much as dash in weight. So, what is the weight of that? So, 20 staff will harvest up to 1,000 kilos of different varieties of fruits and vegetables. So, yes, our answer should be what, guys? It should be 1,000 kilos, right? So, write exactly as it is given in the paragraph 1,000 kg. That's it. So here it is given 1,000 kg, right? So we will write exactly like that. Okay, so that's our answer. Now let's move to the next question. Now it may be possible that the farms produce will account for as much as 10% of the city's dash overall. Okay, here now he is talking about something overall here. Okay, so 10% is one keyword. Farms produce is a keyword. Cities overall is also keyword. Now let's continue reading. Okay. We are not ever obviously going to feed the whole city this way. Cautious Hardy, okay? In the urban environment, you are working with very significant practical constraints clearly on what you can do and where. But if enough unused space can be developed like this, there's no reason why we shouldn't eventually target maybe between 5% and 10% of consumption. Okay. So here is your key word 10% is here, right? And cities overall. So he's talking about the whole city, feeding the whole city, right? Now let's read the last sentence again. But if enough unused space can be developed like this, there is no reason why we shouldn't eventually target maybe 5 to 10% of the consumption. He's talking about the consumption of the whole city here. So it may be possible that the farms produce will account for as much as 10% of cities' consumption overall. So consumption should be the answer. Okay, he's talking about that exactly. Okay, guys, I hope it is clear for you. So, yep, consumption is our answer. Okay, right. Let's move to the next set of questions. Okay, now here there are some other keywords. Here it is only one word. Okay, here we wrote lot of yeah, some numbers and words combination of that. Okay, but here it's purely one word. Okay, so here we need to be careful. So intensive farming versus the aeroponic urban farming. Now, intensive farming, first one. So I think let's read the next paragraph, then maybe we'll get here. Okay. Now, Perhaps most significantly, however, this is a real life showcase for the work of Hardy's flourishing urban agriculture consultancy, Agripolis, which is currently feeding inquiries from around the world to design, build, and equip a new breed of soil free inner city farm. Right? The methods advances are many, he says. First, I don't much like the fact that most of the fruit and vegetables we eat have been treated with something like 17 different pesticides, or that the intensive farming techniques that produced them are such huge generators of greenhouse gases. Okay. Then I don't like the fact that they have traveled an average of 2000 refrigerated kilometers to my plate, that their quality is so poor because the varieties are selected for their capacity to withstand such substantial journeys, or that 80% of the price I pay goes to the wholesalers and transport companies, not the producers. Okay. Now he's expressing his concern here. Okay. He's concerned about the quality, okay, about the money he is paying and all of these things, right? So let's read this one question now. So, intensive farming, wide range of dash used techniques pollute the air. Okay, did we read about polluting the air somewhere? Where was that? I think it was here, right? Such huge generators of greenhouse gases, right? So he's talking about greenhouse gases means polluting the air. So what was before that? Wide range of something is used. What is that? See, I don't like the fact that most of the fruit and vegetables we eat have been treated with something like 17 different pesticides. Means wide range of, it's 17 different means it's a wide range, right? So different pesticides are used. So what should be our answer, guys? Yes, you're right. So answer should be pesticides, right? He's talking about a wide range here. Okay, then let's move to the next one. Selection, quality, not good. Varieties of fruits and vegetables chosen that can survive long dash. So he's talking about survival of some long distances, I guess, right? He spoke about something, quality not good. So here he said that they have a quality is so poor. Okay. So I don't like the fact that they have traveled the average of 2000 refrigerated kilometers to my plate and their quality is poor. That is the first point. Done. Now, second point, varieties of fruits and vegetables chosen that can survive long dash, because the varieties are selected for their capacity to withstand such substantial journeys. Substantial means very long journeys, okay? So they have to survive very long journeys. Yes, journey should be the answer. Okay. Next, they receive very little of overall income. Who are receiving very little income, guys? Now see, 80% of the price I pay goes to the wholesalers, transport companies, not the producers, means farmers, right? So 80% is going away. Producers, they are not getting very little. So producers receive very little income. Yes. So that should be the answer, right? Yes. Done. So next one, aeroponic urban farming. Okay, I think the next passage will have it, right? So we are getting answers paragraph by paragraph. Okay. So they are in order. That is one more hint, guys. Okay. So yeah, all the answers they will come in order one by one. That is one more hint and tip I am giving to you. Okay. Just keep that in mind. Right. So the next paragraph, produce grown using this soil-free method, which relies solely on a small quantity of water enriched with organic nutrients pumped around a closed circuit of pipes, towers, and trays, is produced up here and sold locally just down there. It barely travels at all. Okay. Hardy says you can select crop varieties for their flavor, not their resistance to transport and storage chain. And you can pick them when they are really at their best and not before. No soil is exhausted and water that gently showers the plant's roots every 12 minutes is recycled. So the method uses 90% less water than a classic intensive form for the same yield. Okay, right. Now, what is the question here? No soil is used. Okay, nutrients added to water, which is recycled. Okay, then selection. Coming to selection, produce chosen because of its dash. Now he is talking about selection. Where did we read? Now it is up here, right? You can select crop varieties for their flavor, okay, not their resistance to transport and storage chains. Okay, so produce chosen because of its what? Yes, flavor is our right answer. Okay, yeah, that's it. They are very straightforward answers here, right? Yep. So that is this section, and let's move to the next section, that is true, false, and not given. Okay. Now this section can be a bit tricky, guys. We need to be careful. And yeah. So let us read the instructions first. Okay. The question is true if the statement agrees with the information. It means if this statement is agreeing with whatever is given in the passage, then it is true. If it is contradicting, means if it is opposite meaning, then it is false. Not given if there is no information on this. Okay. So yes, we need to be careful when we answer these type of questions. So yep, let's see this one now. Now, what is the first question? Urban farming can take place above and below ground. Okay. So let's read the next paragraphs. Okay. Then only we'll get a clear idea. Right, guys? Now, urban farming is not, of course, a new phenomenon. Inner city agriculture is booming from Shanghai to Detroit and Tokyo to Bangkok. Strawberries are being grown in disused shipping containers. Mushroom is underground car parks. Okay. Now, aeroponic farming says is virtuous. The equipment weighs little, can be installed on almost any flat surface, and is cheap to buy, roughly 100 to 150 euros per square meter. It is cheap to run to, consuming a tiny fraction of electricity used by some techniques. Okay, right. Then, produce grown this way typically sells at prices that generally higher than those of the classic intensive agriculture or lower than the soil-based organic growers. Okay. There are limits to what farmers can grow this way, of course, and much of the produce is suited to the summer months. Now, root vegetables we cannot do, at least not yet. Radishes are okay, but carrots, potatoes, that kind of thing, the roots are simply too long. Fruit trees are obviously not an option, and beans tend to take up a lot of space for not much return. Nevertheless, urban farming of the kind being practiced in Paris is one part of a bigger and fast changing picture that is bringing food production closer to our lives. Okay, right, very good. Now we got a good idea of the paragraph and we have read the whole passage. Now it should be easy for us to answer these questions, right? Now, what is the first one? Eighth one. Urban farming can take place above and below the ground. Now, first of all, did we read anything above and below the ground? I think yes, right? Now, look at this paragraph, guys. See, strawberries are grown in disused shipping containers, mushrooms in underground car parks. So, urban farming can take place above and below the ground. Yes, it is true because it is given here. Mushrooms, they are grown underground. Strawberries in the shipping containers. So, yes, eighth one looks true to me. Okay. So, yep, I'll write it here. It should be true. Okay. Now, next. Uh, some of the equipment used in aeroponic farming can be made by hand. Okay. Now he's talking about what here? Equipment in aeroponic farming. Now let's come here to the passage again. Aeroponic farming, he says, is virtuous. The equipment weighs little. Okay, he spoke about equipment, but it is less weight, can be installed on almost any flat surface and is cheap to buy. Okay, this much and cheap to run. Okay. Now, did he talk about anything made by hand? He spoke about equipment, but he did not spoke anything about made by hand. Okay. We did not read anything here. Whether it is made by hand or by machine, we don't know. Okay. So what is the answer, guys? It should be not given, right? Next. Urban farming relies more on electricity than some other types of farming. So he's talking about electricity now, right? Urban farming relies more on electricity than other types of farming. Okay. I think we read about electricity here, right? So they are cheap to buy and cheap to run to, consuming a tiny fraction of the electricity by some techniques. So in the paragraph, he said tiny fraction means very less electricity. But here he says more electricity than other types of farming. So what is it? It is contradicting. It is opposite in meaning. So what is the answer, guys? What should be the answer? It should be false, right? Because it is completely contradicting what is given in the paragraph, right? Yes. Now, let's move to the next one. 11th one. Okay. Fruit and vegetables grown on aeroponic urban farm are cheaper than traditionally grown organic procedure. Oh, yes. I think we read about this here, right? I read about the prices. So, produce grown this way typically sells at a price that are lower than the soil-based organic growers. Okay. Okay, you can cut this part, okay? This part, whatever is in the commas, you can cut it out. Just read it like this. Produce grown this way typically sells at prices that are lower than soil-based organic flower growers. Okay, yes. So it is lower price. So this aeroponic is lower price. So fruits and vegetables grow on aeroponic are cheaper than this. Yes, it is true. It is clearly true, right? So what should be the answer, guys? It should be true, right? It is straightforward question, guys. It's very easily notable question, right? Now let's move to the next one, 12th one. Most produce can be grown on an aeroponic urban farm at any time of the year. Okay. Now this is the question here. He is talking about any time of the year. He says you can grow, produce anytime. Is it that? Is it true or no? So there are limits to what, look at here, guys, second line. There are limits to what farmers can grow this way, of course, and much of the produce is suited to the summer months. Okay. So most of the produce you can grow only in summer, not any time of the year, right? So what is this? It is completely contradicting. That's why it is what? False, right? Next, the last one. Beans take longer to grow on urban farm than other vegetables. Now he's talking about beans and taking longer to grow. Now, where did we read about beans? Radishes are okay, carrots, potatoes, the roots are simply too long. Fruit trees are obviously not an option, and beans tend to take up a lot of space for not much return. Okay. Nevertheless, urban farming of the kind of being practiced in Paris is one part of a bigger and fast changing picture. Okay. Now, guys, what is my question? Did he talk anything about growing? Beans take longer to grow. Here he says beans take a lot of space for not much return. Did he talk about the time period of beans? How much time will they take to grow? Did he talk about that? No, right? Yes. So what is the answer? We don't know how much time they take to grow. So what should be the answer, guys? It should be what? Not given, right? Yes. So it is not given. We don't know how much time the beans take, right? Okay. So I think, yes, guys, that is the end of this passage. I hope you guys learned a few tricks and tips to crack this test. If you like my explanation, guys, please let me know in the comment section. And if you want me to solve any particular passage, just give me the title of the passage and I'll try to solve it for you. Okay. So, yep, that is the end of today's video. If you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe, guys. Also, refer my video to your friends if you're trying to crack the IELTS test for your future studies or for PR. So, let's meet in some other video. Until then, goodbye. Take care.